This morning on Today's Money, getting the things you want without paying top dollar. The economic crisis is already putting a dent in consumer spending, but if you don't want to spend your cold, hard cash, there are still ways to get that special item. Jean Chatzky is today's financial editor. Good morning, Jean.
Good morning.
The trick here is to be creative. Times are tough, but there are ways that you can save, and we have a series of categories here, beginning with trade. What is that about?
We're talking about trading things that you already have for things that you want. There's a number of websites out there. One of them is called Swaptree, and you can go on and essentially give your old stuff to other people in exchange for points. Use those points to get the items that you want. So these are the Twilight books. They're very popular all over the bestseller list these days. They're also the #1 item on Swaptree. You would spend about $55 for the set of 4, or you could swap books or anything else that you already have.
It's a great idea. I bet business is booming in this site.
Oh my gosh, business is up 50% since a year ago, so it's really, really growing. These, similarly, are from another trading site. This one is called Zwaggle. It is specializing in merchandise that's for new parents. So you can get a stroller that would normally cost you $80 simply by trading something that you've already grown out of, like that little baby seat.
What kind of savings are we talking about?
Well, you don't pay anything for this merchandise. So you take something that you are no longer using. You've got a changing table. You've got a Halloween costume from last year, and you can get this year's Halloween costume. These retail for about $25. If you went on a site like eBay, they'd be less. But again, you're just taking your nicely worn old stuff, and you're trading it for something else. You pay about $7 on average in shipping. There are other trading sites out there. BookMooch is one. It specializes in books, and PureFlix, but it's a whole category that's booming.
Okay, let's move from trading to renting. Renting something instead of buying it.
Right. Renting is usually for luxury items. These are the sorts of handbags that most people do not, or many people, I should say, do not want to spend top dollar for. This one is a Louis Vuitton. So you rent this for like a week or a month? A week or a month. This one is from a site called Bag, Borrow, or Steal. Or actually, this one is not. This one's from Bags to Riches. This one is from Avel, which used to be Bag, Borrow, or Steal. This is a $1,500 handbag, but you can rent it for a month for about $140. This is a $900 handbag. You rent it for a month for about $90. And there are other sites in the category as well that can let you rent jewelry and clothing and things like that.
And again, add to that shipping costs, however.
Shipping costs and insurance costs. Some of the sites bundle those costs into the rental price, others don't. So just be careful that you see exactly what you're getting.
Okay, trade, rent, now borrow.
Borrow. When it comes to something like tools, power tools, or ladders, we've got an aero bed here. Often you need it once. Why spend $100 for it when you could just borrow it from a neighbor and take it back? Borrow is probably the biggest site in the category. There are groups of borrowers that have sprung up everywhere from Battery Park City to parts of California. If there's no group in your area, you can start your own group.
And how do you do that? Because I think that is a great idea.
You go to the website and you essentially say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I have to lend, and it allows you to interact with other people in your neighborhood. It really just costs you the gas in your car to go get the item, pick it up, take it back, and you're done with the transaction. And again, this is not the only site. There's a site called borrowingcircle.com, and interestingly, we found that a lot of local libraries, book libraries, also have started lending libraries for tools because power tools are really expensive.
Exactly. You only need them occasionally anyway.
Exactly.
And finally, given the fact that we're all concerned about the environment these days and recycling, this is a way to give away, really, your stuff. Again,
a huge number of sites. Freecycle.org. These are all .orgs. The rest are .coms. But freecycle.org is the largest. Millions of users throughout the world. 85 different countries. You essentially go online and you look at what people say they're going to give away. You got to be quick, because if you're not quick, you're not going to be the first one to get the good stuff. But we found this rocking horse, a scale, a bathroom scale that still works, a keyboard for a computer. It's not one that's made anymore, but if you've got that old computer and you need a new keyboard, you can pick up this stuff that would cost you some money even on a website like eBay to buy used.
And I hate to be a wet blanket in all this, but what about scam artists? I would think that they might be around these sites.
You absolutely have to be careful. If something said that it was not going to cost you money and then ends up trying to charge you an arm and a leg in shipping or handling, you know you're being ripped off. We only dealt with sites that gave us contact information in the form of an email address or a phone number. So you really want to be careful. If anybody starts asking for your personal information, just walk away.
All right, Jean Chatzky, thank you so much.
You are welcome.